let me tell you, it was crazy. But you see, like, for those 2 years, the struggle was real, you know. Even that shooting that song. Because, you know, there's no income. There's nothing. You're getting nothing, you're just putting in. Putting in a lot of time.
Right.
Putting in a lot of money.
Right.
Putting in a lot of hopes and dreams and, you know, all these things. They're just all embroiled together. So that was that time. So for us to see that song being played on TV, wow, it was like, for real, someone, mcheza pale, holiday wanatupeleka mahali to perform. Like, for real, we did our first TV interview. Look, guys are like, you know, at this point, guys are like, and you guys are for real. This thing is for real.
It is for real, Bana. We've been seeing you now. Njau.
This is for real,
right,
Bana.
Right.
Ah. And then, you know, at that point, it was bittersweet, what I'm saying.
Right.
Because your expectation is that now you would, in 2 months, 3 months, unatembea na Mercedes.
Umeomoka.
Right. Now everything will be so easy.
Right.
This is your entrance. Sasa umeingia kwa market.
Yes. Started getting visible now at a national scale. Right.
National scale.
Right.
Sasa umeingia tu kwa mapambano mengine.
Yep.
It's like another
a new level and new challenges at that level as well. Right.
So it's like, yo, everybody in the industry was telling us, yo, nice song, guys.
Yep.
Now,
we like it.
Think about the next one.
Right.
So the guy ends there.
Right.
The next song doesn't do as well. The next one doesn't do as well. Evil. And, you know, small successes here and there, but bado hakuna sasa. So it was years and years and years of continuing. Guys know of you. Guys hear you. You get opportunities here and there and stuff like that. But it's not blowing up really enough. So msanii, everybody knows you are msanii, but hauna kitu. You know, hauna anything to show for it. You just still unapata kidogo, you plow it back into the music. So that's between 2012, 2013, 14. So successes hapa na pale. So unapata interviews, unajuana na wase kwa industry, but bado vitu hazija. You're doing a lot of missions, so you're performing a lot. I think in that period I performed a lot.
Right.
Yeah, you're performing you.
Different places, all over the place.
Everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Some you're getting paid, some you get fair, some you get whatever.
Right.
So years and years of. So you meet a lot of people, you meet a lot of friends in that time. So you met Akina, you know, all these other guys for gospel industry. We met all of them during that period. Because now unaitwa show na unapata na nani na unaitwaje yani mkali nini blah.
But you know, I think unpacking just that season, you know, sometimes it's also good to learn from your journey.
Yeah.
What do we expect, and even our upcoming artists, what would they expect of a season like that? And probably it's a question of what they can expect is that then they've started getting to get it known. They can have a network here and there. They will still have to continue doing the work. Not necessarily that it will pay a lot, but then it will help them get visible, get known. Is that what you get out of that season?
I think, you see, well, somebody, I've heard this theory, maybe you've heard it before, like, there are 3 stages of whatever you do. Like, there's the 40 days and 40 nights, there's a favor stage, and then there's a management stage. Right. So, the 40 days and 40 nights are given, and that's your foundation. That's where you make a lot of networks, you know. That's where you meet so many people. That's where you learn how to deal with people, you know. That's how you learn so many things. You learn, you know, unalearn vitu mingi. Utafanya madharau hapo, utafuta opportunities, utalearn pia how to deal with people. So the 40 days and 40 nights are very whatever. No, ukitry kuzi-escalate, sometimes utatoka hapo bila kulearn so many things. So for the 40 days and 40 nights, very important for everybody.
Right.
Where you learn the ropes.
Right.
You learn the running of an industry.
Right.
You learn the up and downs. You know, you learn all these things so that you can be able to cope with the next stage. So ukiruka ni kama umerukisha mtoi level fulani.
Right.
Yeah. It's
right.
Like
na itakuwa disservice.
Mtoi anaweza zaliwa and then ukumembaia gari ni yake, but itafika some point hauwezi mpea key mapema, utampea baadaye. So I feel like God sometimes hufanya hivyo. Those years you're just there. God knows your destiny, but anakuprepare for the next level, building your character and all these things. So for us, for upcoming artists,
so
for anything who's doing anything, there's the 40 days, and then you get into the favor stage where now everybody wants you sasa.
Right.
Where everybody anakutaka.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So usipodeal vizuri na huko mavitu zenye ulipitia huko kwa
ile 40 days 40 nights ile
hata unaweza mess hii favor stage,
right.
Kwa unaweza imess vibaya sana. So it's very important from say apite hiyo stage.
Right.
Aumie apite hizo vitu.
Right.
If ye ni kama msee sasa hakuja na Richie hapa. Yeye ndo mtu wa mkono. You get yeye ndo mtu wa kamera. Analearn hizo vitu zote. Analearn how to shoot in low light. Analearn the challenges of shooting. Analearn the challenges that can emanate from shooting. Right. How to deal with different guys. How to deal with watu kukona hasira, watu. You learn all those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you might as well sit back and learn also. It's important how you deal with that stage.
Yeah, you learn, and you throw yourself. Also, you have to throw yourself into. Hiyo time tuko na sasa hizo ndo time usijui mko na kuru event, mko stranded, mmeachwa huko. Mnapigia wasema si mko stranded karibu kila county in Nairobi. Mmerushwa kila mahali.
Juko kila mahali resources hakuna but
kama mmesema tukaperform Kitale.
Right.
Twende. Mko mimi decide tunataka yani all those things.
Yeah.
But you know those places built your skin.
Right.
Your skin has toughened.
Right.
You have met so many people along the way. You have, so many things, so many lessons like that you learned. So if you never do that, you never. It's like So
your foundations will not be solid.
Exactly. You kutoka mbali inafanya nguna learn so many things. And like somebody also said somewhere, it's that if you use the escalator and you use the stairs, if you use the stairs, you unaenda ukijua everybody kwa kila floor.
Right. Mnajuana tu. Na unajenga muscle pia ukitembea.
Unaenda ukijua challenges kwa kila floor.
Right.
So in case hata urudishwa 7th floor, unajua ulipandaje kwa rahisi. So I think God sometimes anaacha utumie stairs. Ndio unajua kila floor. Hapa kuna kuanga slippery, hapa kuna kuanga nini, hapa kuna kwa tiles zimetoka, hapa kuna watch. Huyu hapa anakuanga na hasira mpeleke pole. Those things.
Correct.
And that's what it's very good to.
Wow. That's profound, man. Yeah. That's absolutely profound. Unaweza pata mtu anaingianga lift unamuuliza third floor kuna kuanga nini?
Hajui whole building. Hajui
na anaingianga hiyo building every day.
Exactly. So unaweza pata huyo mtu kuna siku atahitaji kufanya kwenda cyber.
Yes.
Aende hadi first floor, atoke into the streets kutafuta. Pengine alikuwa 7th, pengine iko 6th.
Na hajui.
Juu
ameshindanga tu kwa lift.
Ameishi tu kwa lift.
Boss.
So it's very important. So God puts you that process. God puts you that process, builds up your skin, perseverance. Bible talks about perseverance. Perseverance and build up your faith. Because then you learn how to trust God in every situation. You learn how to know that God can use anybody.
Right.
Yeah. Because in that process, there are people that we saw come into the industry and they came and they shot up so fast. So you're like, maybe ningemdarau, but only God holds our destinies and stuff like that. Kuna wase wenye ulikuja, then so many things. Kuna guys who came and then went, and then you learn from their mistakes and you learn, okay, this is where all those things. So for me, I think between your time, up to the time we blew up in 2015, when we did Ngori, then sasa tukaanza sasa kwa watu wanaanza kuona kuna some form of success. Although pia challenges bado ziliendelea. Like you think
new levels and new whatever. Yes.
Pia hiyo ilikuja na ikakamna challenges zake.
Right.
But at that point we're like, okay, sasa tume overcome. Tuna see better days. So I think different struggles. So Ngori really opened the doors for us. It opened up, bigger stages, opened up platforms, even countries. So that
you also started going out of the country.
Exactly.
Right.
So it took blow up 2015, and we were at the verge of giving up.
You are at the verge of giving up.
Verge of giving up.
Vitu was goes na wako. Why did you want to give up?
You start early, right? So when you're young, and again for any young person listening, when you're young, bana wing it, bana.
Right.
Because you have. For most people, not for everybody, for most people, you have fewer responsibilities.
Right.
Maybe bado kwa madhe, maybe bado auntie anaweza kuaccommodate, okay, maybe,
Right.
But as you get older,
so you're shielded quite a bit.
You're shielded.
Right.
For most people.
Yeah. For most people, of course.
There are people who are at 18.
Washa tu points.
Pambana na maisha yako, ama you can't, ama whatever. But for most people, ukiwa kama 18, 19, you're still in your mom's house.
Right.
Or whatever. So you're shielded. So you can be able to spend.
You have some bandwidth to do a few things.
And even if you have more time.
Right.
Unashika hii guitar for 6 hours.
Right.
Straight.
Yep.
But as you get older,
a few more responsibilities come into
more
play.
checks and balances.
Right.
You know, maybe you need to, people are looking at you, hey, Niaje, what's up? What's going on? You need to get a job. You know, your friends are moving on up here.
Yeah.
You understand? So, when you are young, you could be able to spend all that time
doing this stuff.
Get all this money maybe and put it all in a video.
Right.
But as you get older, like for me, I lost my mom and stuff. So life is changing.
Right.
So by the time you're 23, 24, there, hey man, you're like, hey man, this thing needs to work now.
Right.
Because life is catching up.
Right. Right.
Things are, responsibilities are coming up, stuff like that.
Yep.
You are desiring to want to see your life
progress.
So at that time, so it's like a very, at that time your confidence is not built up. So you're seeing other people succeed and that's affecting you. So that was in 2014. So 2014 was very hard. It was very tough. It was because 2014 I lost my mom.
Yep.
So and then, there's a time to go autopilot. So by the time after 2015, I did to Mesota, tuko tu. So there's a song
and what kept you going in that phase?
I don't know. I think community.
Because it must have been tough. I mean, you've put in the work. Music is playing out there. Hi, Lippy. Unfortunately, you've also lost your mom. And life is catching up with you and all of that stuff. And you can also see, like you say, you can see people who are doing well.
Exactly.
And you don't seem to be in that count of the guys who are doing well. Na maze umejitolea yako, man, you are serving God. What kept you going when these dots are not adding up?
I think first of all is just to hold on to the dream. But at some point, I think it's very important for me to insist on people having community. Like, community is very important sometimes. Not sometimes, most times. The guys are like, tuta make it. Mnachochana. There's a friend of mine called Kennedy Crazy. He's in States now, but tunachochananga sana.
Akwambia bro. Shikilia.
And a friend of mine, it's so real. Like, one day. Because even now, where I am now, it's another level of life. So, kuna other challenges that are coming up, other responsibilities. So, you always need people who can. Community is very important. I don't know how much I can insist on.
Right. Community.
If you are isolated,
don't be a lone ranger.
Because you won't be alive for long. You will die.
Yep.
And death is not just physical, but it's you die.
You're alive. You're the living dead. If there's a term like that.
You'll die because anything that comes at you, you have nobody who can diffuse it.
No support system.
Nobody can tell you, you need kitu ndogo. Nobody can tell you, you need kitu kubwa, you need to take it seriously.
Right.
You understand?
And sometimes you need those.
It goes both ways.
It could be, yes, absolutely.
There are things that you don't think are paramount, and you need people to show you how important those things are.
That's right.
And there are things that are not important, and you shouldn't pay attention.
Absolutely.
And you should be told to not pay attention.
Wow.
And kuna some voices, even within you, that need to be silenced. And sometimes God uses people.
And that's a power of the community.
Power of community, power of being, if you're a Christian, power of being at a church, having a pastor, having those things.
Right.
As well as having a personal relationship with your Savior. Having that time.
Right.
But also having community, fellowship. That.
How many songs have you written, Moji?
I don't know. Even today, I was like in, before we started the interview, I was talking to one of my producers. It's called Saint P.
Right.
And he was like, hey, Niaje, there's a song we wrote, wapi. He recorded, and it's blessing me, man. I'm like, which song? Like, ndakutumia. Because sasa pia mimi, I record a lot because you're writing. So I record a lot. So come demos and stuff like that. So you just do it now. Do it. So my approach is kawaida, but 2013, we are struggling. We're doing good, but we're struggling. I had a friend called Brian. Brian is trying to support some artists, anaitwa Jabidii. Mimi sijui hata anaitwa Jabidii at that point. And there's a song inaitwa Vimbada. Sketch. I'm like, hey, this is nice. But that time I'm also struggling, so serious idea anything. 4 years later, this guy comes with a song called Odi. I come to realize the guy who's singing Odi is the same guy who sang Vimbada. I tell him, you guy, you had an idea back in the day called Vimbada. That idea was crazy. If that idea you would come now and
we need to revisit
it.
Right.
And now add whatever is going on right now, that song would be a hit. Tells me, yeah, that's crazy. fast forward, I think January of 2017, I'm in a studio, his studio where he records, and he's like, yo, by the way, I recorded the song, and even mentioned you in it. Moji and Jabidii would drop it. I'm like, you mentioned me. Then, right there and then, I write the verse, and then, silence, then I like 4 months, EV, and then we are in whatever, when like May of 2017, after I've dropped all those songs. To say, me, I'm beast mode. I'm like, I want there to be a clear distinction between Moji Shot Babaa and Clay Takatifu.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're branding on now, you've already branched on your own.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to create my own playlist.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is distinctly Moji.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of like what you'd say a portfolio.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Say
You want to jenga.
Exactly.
We're building it up.
They know me wako kwa institution.
Right.
But nataka nikitoka kusema mimi natoka institution nataka kuona portfolio yangu kama Dennis.
Right. Right.
Si tu at these are projects we did.
Right.
So
this
company.
is distinctly now Moji.
I want Moji Shot Babaa to have whatever.
Correct.
DK mpigia yeye nataka tufanye song wewe na Guardian nini twende. Hajawahi niangusha and then God bless those projects.
Right.
So when Vimbada came, it's just like now it's like it was a new fire.
Right.
Akakuja rudi kwa all these other songs. So
it blew up, man. So that song actually carried a lot of other songs as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So Vimbada just blew up.
And you've never looked back, man.
I don't know. I never looked back in Manisha things, whatever. But I've never looked back. I've never looked back in terms of, like now I believe it's possible because I've seen God do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen God do it. I've seen God do things.
But just before I leave him, by the way, you also acknowledge Mam and Shosho in terms of the jobo they did at the time. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. So it also inspires a bit of what you put in there.
Yeah, everything. You they taught me God and they taught me the importance of God in everything. They taught me to also always put God at the center. And that is something I've always like taken with me. Like weka Mungu hapo katikati kwa kila kitu. Yani God ni balance kwa hii life. Because kuna challenges zenye hizi challenges mingi sana za hii life. In fact the biggest challenges kwa hii maisha zile zote wanado. Yeah. Wow. So ama zinaweza sortiwa na do but pia Mungu anahitaji kuprovide yote.
Kabisa. Either way, he has to be part of the solution. He's the solution.
Exactly.
Kabisa.
So for me I think I will funza Mungu. My dad taught me a lot of hard work.
Right. Yeah. Right.
My dad taught me like if you wanted something done, he'll get it done.
Right.
Yeah. Right. The dedication. Sheer dedication to do something.
Right.
To do it yourself.
Right.
Those to me no, mwanaume ni kazi na
lazima.
Yeah, so for me mimi msanii kuna tustai kosa na ni wimbo. At any one point utanipata.
Lazima ikue.
Niambie nitoe wimbo saa hii.
Itatoka.
Iko ready.
Unaingia tu studio unaachilia tu.
So sometimes inakuwa ni maybe resources za kufanya vitu zingine ndo zinaweza hold back but ideas and whatever they are there.
Constant.
I'll never lack an idea because God provides.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Because kuna mali skill na mali tunapatana na Mungu.
Right.
So skill yako lazima ushinde ukisharpen.
Kabisa.
Ecclesiastes inasema lazima usharpen axe yako.
Right.
Axe yako lazima uisharpen.
Lazima. Moji, man, I mean, having come a long way, you've decided to go the family route, man.
Yeah.
Boss, hongera. Tell us about this, my friend.
I think it's just stages of life.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's stages of life. Everybody has, I think a man has different stages of life.
Right.
And that's tumefika kwa hiyo level ya hiyo stage of life.
Right.
Now I need to cross that whatever.
Right.
Yeah. And God in his own ways, in his own workings.
Kabisa.
Amefanya hivyo, ameprovide a mate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bible imesema none shall lack a mate.
Kabisa.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
You find a wife.
Find the good thing.
Yeah.
Find the good thing, man. Scripture is fulfilled in your life now.
Exactly.
Kabisa, man.
And that's what we pursue every day. The fulfillment
of that
scripture in our life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, niko kwa hiyo place. Again, it's another. Life is all about transition. So it's another transition. It will come with new responsibilities. Yeah. But with God, I know it's possible.
Hey, boss. Hii proposal my friend niliona kwa mtandao nasema, "Hey Buddha. Hey, umekuja na mishindo."
Very simple.
Yeah?
Very simple.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Man.
Asante sana.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Congratulations.
I appreciate
Na juzi nasikia umeenda Rorashio pia.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Hii maneno it's just like that.
Yeah.
Iko huko, iko namna hiyo.
You know. Ni barabara, lazima kila mtu. Kama unataka kufika hiyo place lazima upitie hiyo barabara.
Kabisa.
So tuko kwa hiyo barabara.
Right.
And we're hoping that God will keep on helping us.
Absolutely.
And giving us guidance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, man. We want to wish you the very, very best.
Asante!
The very, very best.
Yani sema kama wewe asante!
We wish you the very, very best, my friend.
Thank you very much.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Work at it.
Thanks,
It's a beautiful thing. Work at it, my
Thanks,
friend. And it's a beautiful. And we wish you the very, very, very best.
Thank you.
Very,
Thank you. Utakuja kwako nimeona quite a big ring. I'll
Oh,
come
my friend,
with
this has been 14 years later,
14
my friend.
years.
14 years later, my
My
friend.
God, almost
14
half
years
my
later.
age, man.
Yeah?
Almost half my age.
We've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, it's work.
It's work.
It is
yeah.
definitely work. I mean, it's you investing in each other,
Yeah.
becoming best of friends, working together,
Yeah.
and just receiving each other in each other's lives, man, and working it out.
And I hope to be at 14 years, kama wewe and saying and speaking the same way.
We'll exchange the notes.
I hope and pray to be there.
We'll exchange notes. But I think it's becoming the unity yourselves.
Yeah.
And working as that unit.
Yeah.
And just knowing that then, man, we're not in this to walk out. We're in this thing to build it.
Exactly.
And out is not an option.
That's it.
Tufikishe hiyo kwa
Out is not an option.
Out is not an option.
Yeah.
I mean, you've taken a decision.
Yeah.
You've made a choice.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
It's a lifelong commitment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, it's not a kamjari boo.
And that's my
We're in
hope.
this thing for the long haul.
That's my hope.
And if it's going to work, you will have to work at it.
Yes.
If it's going to work, she will have to work at it.
Yeah.
And both of you put in the
I think that's
investment.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
You have to work.
No,
If you'll have to work, you'll have to work on
both of you have to work it out.
Exactly.
Both of you have to work it out, man.
Asante.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Kabisa, man.
Yeah,
And we
man.
wish you the very, very
Mimi
best.
nashukuru
Man.
bana.
Kabisa.
Nashukuru.
Mbele kuna kaje in terms of your productions and in terms of your craft and all?
Mbele kuna kaaje? That's very important. That's a very good question.
Yep.
But I think life has always taught me to be very hopeful.
Right.
The Bible has taught me to always write down a vision.
Right.
And to always have it written down and say, okay, this is what I want to achieve.
Right.
So in terms of what I want to achieve in the next few years, again, family and stuff like that, and
Right.
see how that gels with everything.
Right.
There's a lot of projects when it comes to music. There's a lot of projects when it comes to now creating content. Because again, apart from just being an artist, I'm a creative.
Right.
I do a bit of acting, a bit of hosting, a bit of all these things.
Right.
So you see how we gel all these things and how we start now creating products from that. So one of the products that's coming out, that's already in the works, is called Babaa for the kids.
Right.
So this is an arm that does so many things, when it comes to supporting children and also now creating some things when it comes to children. So I can't say much, but it's because sitaki kusema vitu zenye sitaki kusema vitu zenye sijapanga vizuri alafu nikuja kwamba wewe ulisemaje kuhusu hiyo kitu, si ati ni siri, nataka tu nijipange tu nikisema niseme kitu iko sure. But those are some of the things we'll be working on.
Right.
And then a lot of music and trying to hold the gospel music flag high.
Right.
And just wave it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But something that's happening immediately is going to be an EP coming, an album coming, and then everything else is going to fall.
It's going to all fall in place, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And almost as we bring this to a close, man, gospel artists, and many of them coming up, many of them looking at what's going on in the industry,
Exactly.
and asking themselves, how do we hold this thing together? And how do we do it in a manner that then ultimately there is no confusion as to what is gospel, what's not gospel, and whatever happens within it truly is ministry, as it were.
What I'll say to all my gospel artists and my upcoming ones is that if you read the Bible carefully, there's no king with no prophet. There's no king with no prophet.
Right.
So you cannot do this thing without the presence of God, without the presence of a spiritual authority. Like who are you submitted to when you go to church, and do all these things.
Right.
So make sure that balance is outlined.
Right.
It's very clear.
Right.
Right. Muambia hata wale wase wanakuanga submit to the dark forces of this world, they follow them. So who are you to be a gospel artist who has no church, who has no accountability group, who has no whatever? Who are you? To be attacked.
True.
You'll be attacked.
Right.
You know, attacks don't come without unafikiria ati you'll be driving down the road and then a man in black will come out and say, Rungo Shasha! No. Can be pride, can be foolishness, can be whatever.
Right.
It's something, an insecurity, and all these things.
Right.
So, for any gospel artist out there, any gospel artist, gospel minister, do not walk this road alone. Do not be a gospel artist without God.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It does not make sense.
Right.
So you need to be in a church, you need to be in an accountability group, you need to have a relationship with God.
Right.
Otherwise, soon enough, it will be evident that those things are not there. It will be evident.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To be seen.
Right.
Because again, the Bible says that you shall be known by your fruits.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So
Effectively confirming them, and you have your spiritual covering as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That has to be in place.
Right.
Man. That's
Right.
a standard.
Right. It's a standard. Part of even why I ask this is sometimes when you become the star, the challenge of handling the fame, the challenge of becoming that star, the conflict of being a star and submissive at the same time.
Yeah.
And just being up under authority. Sometimes it's a real conflict, and I'll be curious to just know as we wrap it up, how have you handled all of this, man?
How do I handle all of that?
Absolutely.
I think there's one thing people have said, and I always like to say it.
Right.
Is that prevention is better than cure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you have the right support system around you, you'll prevent a lot of things.
Right.
Rather than curing a lot of mistakes.
Correct.
You understand?
Right.
It's the same thing even in the corporate world, or everywhere, even in football, even in everywhere.
Right.
You find people have business coaches.
Right.
I'm saying, this is to say that even in a, and I say this loosely, even in a secular setup,
right,
there is order.
Right.
And this order starts kwa Mungu.
Right.
So
right.
even in Mungu we have to, sasa sisi tunafuata kufuata hiyo order even more. There is order. Ronaldo akona coach, even with all his Ballon d'Ors, even with all his orders. He has a coach.
Right.
And anamwambia time out, man.
Nani time out. Time out akimwambia bench ni bench.
Exactly.
Right.
We are attacking now.
Right.
We are defending now.
Right.
We're doing all this.
Right.
So you need some sort of system that can be able to control you, can be able to protect you, also protect you.
Right.
Yeah, stuff like that. Because the time Ronaldo wants to continue playing, but the coach anamwambia, that injury itakuwa normal, so you need to retreat. As in, the analogy is very, it's very wide.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
It is perfect.
Yeah, you need somebody like there uko sideline. Unakwambia cheza hivi, fanya hivi. It's time to retreat. It's time to don't attack, don't do whatever. So it's good, it's important. You're there, have a relationship with God, you have guys who can be able to talk to you, and that's a very big thing for a gospel minister. And it's a big thing for a gospel minister and any Christian doing any other thing.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, every time tutakuwa tuna save my situation. Every time tutakuwa tunapata ball iko kwa box, sasa ni kudefend.
Things are just going all over the place, man.
Tunahitaji kuprotect vitu huko kwa midfield huko. Sasa tuko huko kila time tuko like ma woodwork tu ball kila time ni corner. See? That's one thing that people need to know.
Absolutely.
One thing need to know.
Right.
Even everywhere there's structure, everywhere there's order.
Right.
And God has outlined that order. Only that we don't like doing that. Because again, God's order ni willingness. It's your willingness. You have to be willing.
Right.
You have to be willing. Kingia kampu yenu saidi yenu utaambiwa hapa kunaendaga hivi na 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 hivi.
Kuna systems hapa.
Sign hapa.
Kabisa.
So tuko kwa Mungu but tunataka sometimes kukosa na ni ngumu, sio rahisi. Na mimi sisemi hapa juu siko hapa juu. Sisemi hivi juu mimi nazifuata. Niko hapa juu nime acknowledge that this is, for it to work, this is the road that I need to walk.
Absolutely.
It's tough, but this is the road that I need to walk. So for us gospel artists, there's a road and it's outlined. Yes.
And I suspect that order is in any sphere you go to.
Any sphere. Any sphere.
Any sphere.
Any sphere.
If you ever want to be great, then there must be systems,
Any
there must be
sphere.
order.
Any sphere.
Any
My
sphere.
pastor told me that failure and success, they have one thing in common. They all have a trail. They leave a trail.
Wow.
It's not vague. Success is not vague. A failure is not vague. If you want to see if there's some person who has failed in anything, you can follow that trail back.
And see how we ended up there.
Why did you rahisi sana? Somebody who succeeded pia.
You can follow it up as well.
Yeah. Sasa nyuma bazu soma vitabu ama?
Azima.
Si ndio muone hao watoto wame succeed.
What was the story behind this?
Exactly.
Success? Yeah.
And
what are the principles you can
exactly.
apply? Absolutely.
And in reading their stories and in trying to understand how they achieved that success, that's how you evade a lot of mistakes. That's how you're able to see some things. So lazima upigwe risasi ndio ujue gani inaweza uwa zi. Lazima una movie.
Yeah.
Ujue
na utosheke na ukubali iko tu.
Ukipigwa risasi hapa utadai. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We have guys who have, who have gone ahead of us in so many things. We have guys who have spiritual authorities who have seen people like us, who have seen a lot of young people. Right. They can be able to tell you, if you do this, by the way, this and this is a concussion for disaster. But if you do this and this, you're headed somewhere. Success and failure, they all leave a trail. So tunaweza kuona, that's why unasikianga kila mtu anaweza agree. Sometimes unaweza kaivi muagree that huyu jamaa aendi poa. Na muone tu aendi poa na asiende poa. Na pia nyinyi mnaweza kana muagree mseme guy huyu aibakisha hivi.
Kabisa.
Analipuka sasa.
Kabisa.
Na alipuke. It's the same thing because it can be seen. It can be seen. And sometimes now the enemy and all this they see your success. See, oh man, if this guy becomes the biggest guy in this country, so anakwekea drop ka ujinga. And then wewe unakuwa hauna enough people ama hauna enough wisdom around you to be able to deal with that situation.
You know, I'm just very curious. Who are the three guys either you spend the most amount of time with or you read the most from? Because bana, you speak like we are not even celebrated your 30th birthday yet. Imetoka wapi bana? Man, I wonder what you be masamon zako na lecture zako at 30 bana. 35 isijui itakuaje bana. It's absolutely impressive. You must be hanging out with some right company for sure.
That's the most important.
You must, and I think then you must be very intentional. You're very intentional about who you spend your time with, man.
And that's what I said. Like Kitambo used to do some things flukes.
Right.
But say pick up point you're a bit intentional. You're like, okay, sawa.
Right.
You're like, who you see can I for long?
Una feel at 20 we are not going in that direction.
Conversation needs to end now.
It needs to be over and we move on.
And
it's okay to own that decision. And it's okay to say this is not good company.
Yeah. And you don't need to do it in a very bad way.
Right.
Just need to be very unakuwa tu mjanja. But I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time with my pastor.
Who's your pastor?
Pastor George Masharia.
City Lighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Good friend of mine, by the way.
Yeah?
Good friend of mine as well, man. Big up for the job, man.
That's my pastor.
Amazing man.
And amenichanua sana. Na usi ete na nichanua ati no ziko kwa Bible.
Right.
And chanua and and that and then now also knowing that you the biggest investment you can make is an investment in yourself.
Right.
So you constantly need to put in something in yourself.
Right.
Something good.
Right.
Not poor.
Right. Right.
Something that can make you think. Something that can whatever. That can help that thing that God has made kwa life yako come to completion. So you need to for you to be of value you have to.
Lazima ingie ndani.
Lazima ingie ndani. You can't give what you don't have. Yeah, man.
You're a deep guy, man. You're a deep guy, Babaa, man. Man, I think I need to buy Pastor George lunch, man. He's done an amazing job, man. Pastor George, I owe you lunch for sure, man. I mean, he can't you umefanya kabisa, man. But it's very impressive to just see a young generation that says, I take ownership of my journey.
Yeah.
I take ownership of my decisions.
Yeah.
I take ownership of my destiny.
Yeah.
And I will defend it with everything I've got.
Yeah.
And I want to remain very intentional about where it is that I'm going.
Yeah.
Because, man, Moji, I'm just trying to project your graph. This is you at 29.
Yeah.
What is it going to look like at 35? And what is going to look like 40, man?
Are you talking like you?
My friend, I can only say there's a lot of hope for this country, man, when we have guys like yourselves, man.
Hey, man.
It gives me a lot of hope about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Both for this country and for our generation.
Yeah.
I mean, because these are the kind of conversations that really inspire me.
Yeah.
Well done, Babaa. Hey, Moji.
That's my hope. My hope is that like all of us, it's something, all of us, it's within us. It's within us. God has given us so much, and we have to work so hard to protect what God has given us and also to bring it out.
Wow.
To bring it out. So it's all within us. We have to bring it out. And there's so much noise out here. There's so many things that can stifle that thing, that kill it, that can, those zilema thorns and all that can come up and just kill that seed. So we have to protect God's seed inside of us. And also, we have to water it.
Correct.
And, and be able, any kitu poa, ikwe matunda, to say, wow, this thing and that. But I have a lot of hope in the gospel industry. I have a lot of hope in all these things. I have a lot of hope. Or some of my daddy, but
No, I did.
Let's go back to this. Richie, keep this footage. Let's go back to this footage in a few months. People will see that, because we have to come up and we have to be that. We have to try as much as possible. Yeah. The motto of our church, we have to be the light of this world.
Right, right.
Yeah, in the best way. Are you a lawyer? Are you an usher? Are you whatever? You're a doctor. Let's be the light. Let's be the light. Be the light in the cities of this world.
Wow.
All right.
Well, I'm sure all the city lighters right now, they're wameingia kwa keyboard wanasema, we're proud of you, Moji, man. Representing it correctly, my friend. And man, I'm so proud of everything you've said, my friend. Man. I'm so proud of what the future looks like when it is in such hands like yours. But clearly, success for you is an intentional question. It is not a flux issue. It is intentional.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Asante, man.
Moji, man. Thank you so much for coming through, Babaa.
I'm happy to
be
here,
man. This conversation is just one of those most amazing conversations I've had. I hope you picked out stuff that helps your journey. And if you heard what Moji said, man, communities, don't hang out alone, my friend. Surround yourself with the right community so that then it continues to nurture you out, encourage you out. And we want to enlist ourselves as a Goldmine community to just be part of your community, to keep nurturing and encouraging you about the greatness inside of you. I also heard him say success is intentional, my friend. It's not that it ain't just fall, man. We work at it. You may be gifted, but you must as well complement your gifting with hard work and focus and every energy that you need to put into what it is that your greatness is all about. You're great and God deposited it in you. But the question is, what are you doing about it? Are you putting in the craft? Are you putting in the work and all the hours, man? You outliers, my friend. You guys, man. And you know what, man? This has been all that we've been able to do for you on the Goldmine show today. But I walk out of this show very inspired. I don't know about you. And I feel like we are not done with Moji. We may just want to bring him back again, man. I'm not sure we are completely done with this man. He's oozing wisdom, and I want to say, salute Pastor George, City Lighters. You're doing such an amazing, amazing, amazing job. And until next time, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May he shine his face towards you and make you great. I want to encourage you one more time and subscribe to this channel and help us to build a great Goldmine community that continues to speak into the greatness of every single one of us, both as individuals as well as communities. And indeed, I encourage you, check out other inspirational channels as well and subscribe to these things. But we must change the narrative that we only consume negative stuff, because I believe we have good stuff to consume out there, and encourage all of those guys who are doing amazing work, and let us grow these channels, and let's begin to tide the tide so that then we begin to consume stuff that inspires us, stuff that encourages us, and stuff that works in our own favor, man. Every inspiration is a tool in your hand to keep working on your destiny, and you've got to go forward, man. We're so glad that we could come to you. Until next time, we say one more time, God bless you, and see you as you continue becoming the greatness that you truly are. We're out.